Greetings everyone. This is the presentation by Mr. S.I. Ngubelang under the topic climate change. I would like you to pay attention to what I'm going to say too because it is very much important for you to understand what exactly the climate change is. So we'll go to the background of the climate change. The first decade of the 21st century had the highest ever temperature around the world ever, especially at the south and north poles. Global warming, especially in the Antarctica and the Arctic, is causing climate around the world to change. So now we'll go to the definition of the climate change. Climate change refers to the long-term shift in temperatures and weather patterns. This shift may be natural, but since 1800s, human activities have been the main driver of the climate change, primarily to burning of fossil fuel like coal, oil and gas, which produces heat-trapping gases. Causes of climate change. Human activities are the main causes of climate change. Rapid climate change causes global warming. The greenhouse effect is a good thing when it happens naturally. However, human activities increases the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Greenhouse gases increases at surface temperature unnaturally fast, and this leads to unnatural changes around the world. Climate change causes continues. Generating electricity and heat by burning fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and gas causes a large chunk of global emissions. Manufacturing industry produces emissions mostly from burning fossil fuels to produce energy for making things like iron or steel. Cutting down of forests to create farms or pastures or for other reasons causes emissions where the cuts releases the carbon they have been storing. Impacts on development. The climate crisis is real and its consequences are already being felt. These are some of the consequences of climate change. The scarcity of water in South Africa. Agriculture becomes more challenging. Industrial have to reduce amount of greenhouse gases that industrial processes put into the atmosphere. Diseases like malaria drive warmer climates. Impact on development continues. Warmer temperatures affect old people, babies, people whose immune system are at risk because of HIV and AIDS. Increased floodings and droughts. Sea levels may rise and threaten to flood densely populated low-lying areas. Solar and wind energy must be developed to generate electricity and reduce greenhouse gas produced by coal-fired power station. Mitigation. We can reduce our carbon footprint by using less things that produce carbon dioxide on important greenhouse gases. We can also help absorb carbon dioxide, use it and store it where it cannot do harm in the atmosphere. This is called reducing our carbon footprint. Mitigation and adaptation. These are two essential strategies of addressing climate change. Mitigation is what we can do to reduce the production of greenhouse gases. These cause global warming, which leads to rapid climate change. Adaptation is what we have to do to help us cope with the climate change that is already happening. If you remember very well, in 2022 in Durban, where there was heavy rain, many people lost their lives, industries lost their goods, and infrastructure was damaged. So what is it that we must do if we face that situation again? Build barriers and drainage systems to cope with heavy rain and prevent floodings. Build home in places that won't be flooded. Plant crops and indigenous plants that can tolerate weather conditions. Expect more environmental hazards such as floods, fire, droughts, and damaging wind. Be prepared and get to know about your local government disasters management and relief services. Okay, without any further ado, let's continue. We will now introduce the triple R, which means
reduce, reuse, recycle. Let's make it right. Protect our planet, shining so bright.
okay, what I need you to do right now is you need to go and find some information about the triple R's. Then on the next meeting in the classroom, we'll discuss it. Okay, so the last part of our lesson is adaptation. We all have to adjust the way we live so that the impact of climate change doesn't cause any harm than it has already. Adaptation is different for different parts of South Africa. In conclusion, I want to thank you for your time, and I hope this presentation was helpful to you.